If a best-selling author was being lured to another house by its editor-in-chief, the luring took place there. Once you descended into that dimly lit basement grotto, you became legally blind. If you saw someone you knew, you didn't see them, and they didn't see you. Liz Smith, Cindy Adams, and the other gossip columnists respected this unwritten accord, and never so much as mentioned Trader Vic's. Sadly, an attention-starved real estate developer / tabloid clown named Donald Trump had just bought the plaza, and would soon terminate Trader Vic's lease because he thought the place lacked class. But that winter, it was still the place to be. Maybe my name is familiar to you. I was, for a brief, golden time in the early 80s, the Silver Fox's hottest client. As big a star as a first novelist could ever hope to be. Hell, the New York Times Book Review called me the first major new literary voice of the 1980s. My novel, Our Family Enterprise, sold so many copies that it made me rich and famous. I married Joe Papp's loveliest and most gifted young discovery, the Oscar and Tony Award-winning actress Marilee Nash. And for a while, we were New York's it couple. We bought an apartment on Central Park West with 8 windows overlooking the park. We zipped around town in a red 1958 Jaguar XK150 with wire spoke wheels. And we got a basset hound, Lulu, the only dog who's ever had her own inscribed water bowl at Elaine's. I'd kept my crappy, unheated 5th-floor walk-up apartment on West 93rd to use as an office. And it turned out to be a good thing I did, because it meant that I had somewhere to live after Marilee kicked me out. The pressure to produce an even bigger and better second novel was too much for me to handle. I got writer's block, snorted my career up my nose, and ended up broke and alone. Unless you count Lulu. Marilee had been very patient and understanding with me, right up until I started sleeping with her friends. That was when she filed for a divorce. She ended up with the apartment on Central Park West and the Jaguar. She also ended up married to that fabulously successful British playwright, Zach somebody. I read about it in Liz Smith's column. By the summer of '87, I owed money all over town, and was facing the prospect of Lulu and me living out of a shopping cart in Riverside Park, until the Silver Fox talked me into ghosting a memoir for a famous Hollywood comic of the 1950s, Sunny Day, a notoriously difficult nut who'd hired and fired every lunch pail ghost in New York. But he hadn't encountered me. I'm plenty difficult myself. And my ego is so huge it recently applied for statehood. We fought like crazy, but ended up producing a major best-selling memoir. True, a couple of untimely deaths did occur along the way, but let's not dwell on that. I bent over, kissed Alberta on the cheek, and gazed at her barely touched pina colada. "Since when do you drink anything other than straight bourbon?" "I was feeling festive," she said dryly, lighting a Newport with a silver lighter. "Care to join me?" "Have you ever known me to feel festive?" I slid into the booth across from her, ordered a Kirin beer for myself and a small platter of shrimp tempura for my short-legged partner, who has rather unusual habits, and the breath to prove it. She circled around 3 times under the table before curling up on my feet, where she waited patiently for her treat. "And bring me a straight bourbon," Alberta said to our waiter. "Not feeling festive anymore?" I asked. "To be honest, I just realized I'm going to need something stronger because of what I'm about to tell you." Right away, I felt my stomach muscles tighten. "You're not dropping me, are you?"